everybody, welcome back to my channel. On today's video I wanted to share my little plier. This is what I use with my cam snaps to put these on my Lovey blankets. Amber has been mentioning in her video, Amber from Big and Bliss. I'm sure you guys follow her for her sew alongs, and she had mentioned last night, I'm like, oh my god, I have that plier, I should share it on my YouTube. She has that big machine that she uses because she does a lot of baby clothing, and if you haven't checked her out, I will link her YouTube on the bottom here so you guys could go check her out. She's awesome. She does a lot of baby clothing and we all love her. So here is the one that I do use, and when Amber had mentioned that in her video, I'm like, oh my god, I used this little plier, and I'm like, oh, is that gonna work, or is this any good? And she uses it, so it works really good. I bought this a couple years ago to make I used to make planner covers. So let me just show you. I used to make it from my closure here, and I didn't make these. I used to make something similar to these. I actually bought some cutouts, 12 by 12 cutouts from this company, from this vinyl company, and I was making these for my shop. So that's why I was using, I do have another plier that I use for the metal ones, and that's what I used to make. But this particular one here that I've got on Amazon, I use for my plastic snaps, and I use it for my baby Loveys. And I don't know how many times I washed this thing, just because I didn't trust myself when I first got this, and I started using it on these Loveys. I don't mind the planners because you know you're not gonna be no baby's gonna open the planner, but when it comes to baby gear and baby items, it scares me a little bit, because obviously you think the worst all the time. But I put this in the washer so many times to make sure that this snaps were in really tight, and so far so good. I had no issues, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to put my Loveys on Etsy. I was nervous because I don't know how these were gonna act, but so far so good. I actually made one for my kids, so everything seems to be okay. And this is another one that I've been washing just to sample it out, and this is my samples, and so far so good. They still intact. And these snaps here I get from cam.com, and those are really good, and the size that I do use is a 20, and I believe Amber had mentioned that in her video, that she also uses a 20, so that must be a good size. That's what I started off with, so I'm glad that she had mentioned that, because she has more experience with baby clothing and blankets. So I'm glad she had mentioned that. I'm like, oh my god, what do I have? What size do I have? But that's what I've been using. These colors are the ones that I use the most. This here came with the kit, because I bought this as a kit, but I don't use these colors as much. I mean, I use some here and there, but these are my nice colors that I use all the time. So this is why I get these all the time. And I was also using that for my keychains that I was making, and this is why I was using this a lot. But now I use it for my Lovey blankets, and like I said, I just put it in the washer, test it out, and so far everything seems good. And yeah, so it seems to be safe. But I just wanted to share my experience with this pliers. And when Amber had mentioned that in her video, I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome, because I felt like, oh my god, I'm using this little plier to put this on my Loveys. Is that okay? But yeah, it is okay. It works really good, and it's a good brand. So I got this one on Amazon. It's a cam, and I got the snaps on cam.com. And I think you could get them on Amazon too, but when I first got this, I did a lot of research, and they said this was a good brand. and they say to stick with the brand that goes with the pliers, so that's what I did. So I went on Amazon and bought this, and then I started doing research and went straight into their website. You can check out Amber's, see if she has a link there, but I don't know if she does, but I know she had linked a few of her items on the bottom there. You don't have to get it from me. I just wanted to show you that I do use this one and how it works for me. I just wanted to share that because when I saw her video last night in the sew along, I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. I use that. Oh, she's been making baby clothes for a long time, so that's why I felt like, oh, good, I got a good one. And the size that I do use is 20, so I was very happy about that. So because that's what I use. Yeah, so this here, I taped it there when I first started to use this because I couldn't remember for the life of me how they went. And this is the way the setup that I wanted. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to tape them there so I can remind myself. But now I know the female and the male. And I don't have to look at it anymore, but it does help when you forget. And that's what I did. So yeah, this is where I keep it. So if I need to go to another room, I just put it all together, grab the ones that I need and just put it in a little box and just go to the other craft room or here in my sewing area, and it's easy. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you. I wanted to show you how it actually works. So the first thing you want to do is poke a hole. And here is that plier. So let's just do it. Let's just do it here. So you poke a hole in there. And I'm going to do the so you have two pieces that look like tack with the little, you got two of those, and then you have the female and the male portion. This is the male and the female. So you need all those pieces there, and I'm going to start off with any of them. It doesn't really matter, but let's start off with this one. So go ahead and make sure you poke that hole through, and oops, let's go ahead and push it down a little bit. You heard it, how it clipped together, so that kind of helps too. And then you just put your plier right on there, and it covers the whole thing on the bottom, and just press. Just give it a good press, and voila, there it is. So let's do the other side. It's personal preference, really, how you want them to close, but they are going to close either way. Okay, so I'll do the same thing. Just make sure you apply pressure, and voila. So you can actually, you notice when it's loose, when you press on it, it will be loose, and this is definitely not loose. And there you have it. So here's your closure. So it's pretty good, guys. It works really good. Me, like I said, I'm always afraid of baby items with any little buttons or stuff like that. That's just me being nervous. On my blankets, obviously I didn't put this on the regular blankets, but since I started to do the Loveys and I added the teething ring, I started to put the closures on it, and they don't come out. I've been washing them, like I said prior, and they haven't given me any issues, and they stay on pretty good. So yeah, I just wanted to show you the process, and it's so simple and easy. Pretty soon I'm going to be filling this up if I do another tutorial. But yeah, this is a good sample, and yeah, just wanted to show you how easy and simple it is. And in the beginning I didn't trust myself, but I could tell the difference now You can actually feel it move when you don't put this tight enough, and these are really put together. So these are very safe and ready to go.